Satiricon, I post my clips, I write a few people, oh, hey, where's the album coming out? Are you coming to Orlando or wherever? And I say, is someone here? A few times with a few people. And there was no one there. This is a complete vacuum. A complete vacuum. Satiricon, a complete vacuum. The spiritual aid here in the psychiatry, a complete vacuum. Yeah, you gotta do it on your own sometimes. Yeah. I gotta build a machine to emancipate the artist. I gotta get theories out about architecture and minimalism and spirituality. I'm stating it to him. He's just, no, we're having a conversation. These are your ideas. That's fine. Complete vacuum. I'm stating new ideas to emancipate religion again, and it's a complete vacuum. So we're going on with this complete vacuum. I'm living in a complete vacuum. Art symbolism. Symbolism is arcana. Tractatus vindictica dramaticae. Nihil autem dramaticae. It is the triadize of the revenge of drama and no other significance than drama. That's the translation. Don't bother with all that. Tristiteo devoratio. That's my name. Devouring Sons, Book 1. The philosophy and revolution of Ethereum thought, the verses of Manifesto, the Mesomodernist treatise, a gate of renewal, which is apparently a complete vacuum. The naturalism, so the projecting the way it is, without the experience thoroughly of earthly bleakness, so not experiencing how empty this is, this stage, must be indeed again very bleak. That must be indeed again a blasphemy towards the arts that were made and were created and were a manifest of a new age. But it's again very bleak. The anonymity and lack of direction, the stifled rhetorics, ill at, if at all, the stifled rhetorics, if at all eloquent and minimal and defeatist and nihilist, must come in this ending to evaporate. So even all this defeatism is going to evaporate. Iris Library in the Purple Vault of the Imagination. Printed as classical and artisan as was possible by, and there is no publisher. Preface, yeah, YouTube, I guess. Preface. We are here to finish the artwork of the Earth. Evolution, where it works in the material plane like a comet to bend the evolution and working on the biological plane, DNA strains must also work in perception, which is where all mankind's imagination is part of evolution. Deprecative or open-minded assumptions are also part of mankind's duties within the structure. Here we are then aware of ourselves and our new duty to finish the artwork of the earth, as our current parasitical phase to eat ourselves fat on the earth is over, and it is time to get to work. We see that the dystopias they wrote, Existentialism, The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot, it all came true. It's not just what there is, we have, if subjectivity freezes everything, the duty to dream and to keep arts fertile. The point of this manifest is to get out of subjectivity for those that mindlessly repeated it, but also to find the people who can have more formal debate and don't block everything in deprecating remarks. And don't just chit chat like most people. We're just chit chatting. Oh, interesting idea. Chit chat, chit chat. The amateurism is staggering. Everyone is painting a pretty picture without any background, and the great minds are left among them squealing. There is no focal point, everything is dispersed, so revolting against them will have them look at you with wonder. Why? He can do what he wants. Revolt is clearly over. then the ideals of revolt come to a dead end, and then we can do is dream again. But if we dream again and you go like, oh, why isn't he revolting? Well, you just said that I couldn't revolt because I can do what I want. Then I can dream, can I? There is no other point. But then the rationalists laugh. This laughter is then a problem made into a solution of which they cannot see the end. We are therefore left with our answers turned into problems by everyone. You make a solution out of the problem, and you make a problem out of the solution. What did they protest for? To liberate individualism, which no one understood, and to create a more industrial hedonism, which today has dire consequences as everyone is compartmentalized in a powerless subject again. It is not that you say everything is subjective that will liberate you now, but if you dare communicate and do state an opinion, then people will see that as an attack on their individualism. They say, you don't let me be how I want to be for myself, but doesn't amount to anything. This is not a conversation. To state it bluntly, the average mind is emancipated and the deep mind is discarded and left to rot, growing ever more insane in isolation, this vacuum, for instance, and being dispersed, unable to find the media to find its skin. This all with an impoverishment in religion and preference for mindless real estate and tourism developments, but both stand on the notion that they are archaeology. They are not life, and you cannot keep doing this. At some point, the faith goes out of it. Then you need to rebuild faith as the key component of intuition, the expression of the formal into the future. Then they will say, oh, idealism, oh, utopias. The depression to live and reason with these people is never ending. If they understand any of it at all, but as we will repeat, the structure is nevertheless expanding. At some point, we need to address these things and escape subjectivity, which is possible here. If you do not then take a stand out of subjectivity, you are in advance just growing the structure anonymously into a certain disaster. The dialectic method, the idea to construct, is lacking in common individuals. The dialectic method of Courbet or Deschamps, a thing of which Foucault was hinting at the end of his life, to state something new, something provocative, something innovative, not just analyzing things. He thought there was he was going for one thought, and he said that will crash everything. The dialectic method built this entire society, in which Schopenhauer wasn't exactly right if he said everything would always be the same. Depression created depression. Hedonism created hedonism. Dystopias created dystopias. Is it then always the same? No. We need to overcome ourselves in a much more megalomaniac fashion than Nietzsche ever considered. We see the pitfalls of the progressive where if we give answers to the subjectivity crisis, everyone says everyone is too narrow-minded or think about these things, to think about those things. This is why we need to construct our own media, as again, capital is not subjectivity crisis, is the main problem and main current of today's world. Capital is only useful if the subjects know to do anything useful with it. This society looks the way it looks because it all satisfies subjects because it doesn't know what a subject really wants or needs. It doesn't know itself what it needs. Or it would state an opinion, but then you wouldn't agree with everyone else. So you'd agree with everyone else, so you don't state an opinion. And that in itself is not solved by actually do stating an opinion. It was always that problem. You don't just reinvent spirituality like, oh, I have developed spirituality here. No, no, there is a problem with subjectivity first that you have to address. Then you can reignite spirituality and art and hopefully religion and aesthetics and ecology. But the spiritual and hobbyism, and you don't understand the enlightenment, you don't understand the avant-garde, you don't understand art, you don't understand modern art, and you don't understand, you you can't talk about classical art. No, that's right. That's a sandwich packed with hamburgers. I'm going to leave it at this. I'm going to put it online as fast as I can so you can read it, okay? I don't have to read all this for you. You can read.